just picked up my own Z6. I've been meaning to for a while, and I finally got it. So let's go ahead and unbox this. Let's see. Paperwork. Manual. I'll definitely be reading that. I feel like I'm the only person who ever actually uses the manuals. Like, when I got my D750, I read the whole thing. I feel like most people just chuck this out the way and just start shooting, which is fine. I just like understanding how everything works. Oh boy. Little cardboard. Ooh. There it is. Pretty hefty. Here it is, the Nikon Z6. I've had my eyes on this for a while, and I finally got it. And it's exciting because I liked the D750 quite a bit, and that's the one thing that I quite didn't get with the Sony's. The ergonomics are really important for me, and this grip is just like perfect. Like, whatever they did here with the grip is absolutely amazing and feels good. I can shoot with it all day. When I picked up an A7 III and an A9 Mark I, that was so uncomfortable. I could not see myself shooting with it, and that's probably what won me over to the Z system. Now, don't get me wrong, I will shoot with both, but personally, this is just much more enjoyable to use. The other tool is obviously more capable. I mean, come on, this is like $1,600, while the A7R4 is $3,500, I think. And the A9 Mark II is $4,500. So there's obviously a big price gap, right? But for the price, it's really good. For the price that the Z6 is selling for, it's a really good. You can't go wrong with that. So let's see what else is in the box. We got the good old, strap. Oh, this one's different. That's quite nice. I won't be using it though, but it's very nice. Has that Nikon, and then the Nikon Z. Very nice little strap. I'll be keeping it around for decor maybe. Got some USB cable. Oh, that's also something I'm excited for, that you can charge the camera like a phone. So you can plug it into the side. So you can plug this in to the USB-C, I think this is called, USB-C, and plug this right in, and then you just plug this into a little brick, and it'll charge your camera, and you never have to take out the battery. So it can charge like this, which is pretty neat. That's one feature that I really liked out of the Sony's, and I'm glad it's in this camera. Charger. And then right here, the battery that comes with the Nikon. So I heard that the in-body charging has to be through the specific battery made for the Z system, and so be careful when you're buying. Make sure that you check that it works with the Z and that it's not a DSLR battery. What else is in here? And I'm guessing this is cable protector. Cable protector, maybe? Has to be. Yeah, it's a cable protector. It goes right there. I am a bit salty that I didn't get the S to Z adapter, but honestly, I don't think I'm ever going back to F class. The S class is really great, and for the price, it's pretty incredible what these lenses are doing. So I don't think I'm ever going to go back to the F class. From here on out, like, it's all S class. So I'm not really that upset that I didn't get the adapter. And if I need the adapter, I guess I'll just buy it down the line. No biggie for now. So I got a second battery besides the one that comes with the camera, because I'm worried about the battery life, but time will tell. With the D750, like, that thing could last you like 4,000 images on one battery. I hardly ever wore a battery out and needed to change it. So hopefully this battery also deals with it pretty well. Next thing that I got was a memory card. So the C system is on the Sony XQD format. I got a 120 gigabyte Sony XQD card. I know that they support CF Express. Yeah, CF Express. But this is just the one that was available. And so I got it there at the local camera shop. And this is one card slot, but with this medium format of it being a XQD card, I'm very confident in it and I'm not worrying too much about it. If only I could open this. And there it is. And there you go, one XQD card. So I'm fine with one card for now. I'm not really shooting that often. If anything, I shoot video more. So this is fine for now. Later on, hopefully when it's safe to go back out, I will buy more and hopefully be shooting more. perfect. And it's also quite nice. Like, this is so much easier than getting out the memory cards from the Sony. Like, at first, getting those out is such a pain in the ass, and then you get used to it, but this is just so easy. Like, I love how easy this is to use. I'll probably get some sort of grip for my pinky though, because it's falling off. And now the lens, I got the Nikon Z 15mm 1.8S. I've read and I've heard a lot of good things about this lens from people that I trust and places that I trust to read my information from. And so I went and got it, and this is my first lens because who doesn't like a good 15mm, right? It's quite a nice box. I like the way this box looks. I'm not really that upset that it's not gold like the F-mount lenses. This is fine. I love what they've done with the thing. Oh, here's my only gripe with the lenses. The F-mount lenses come with like this bag. Like, it's an actual bag with a hard bottom, and that was good. I like that. And this is just like, what is this? Like, it's like a napkin. Like, you put the lens in here. I'm sure that it protects from like scratches on the body of the lens, but like, it's not very practical. It's not very practical at all, I think. But still quite nice. Something different. They switched it up. I respect that. Alright, and there is the lens. Okay. Anything else in here? Oh, wait, what's this? It is the lens hood. Alright, so we got the lens and lens hood. Let's go ahead and unwrap these. Okay. Definitely a little bit different than the F-mount. Ooh, okay. This is nice. It's not heavy. It's 1.8 glass, but you know, for 1.8, and it's really good. Like, I'm not complaining that it doesn't weigh a lot. Like, that would be kind of dumb. Like, that wasn't it the whole movement behind mirrorless was that the mirrorless cameras weighed less than DSLRs, and now you have people complaining that they weigh too little and that they like the heft of their DSLRs. I don't know about you guys, but like, I kind of want to be able to walk by the time I'm 30 still, so I'm fine with the weight reduction and of using 1.8 glass. And I'll probably keep all of my glass around this maximum aperture unless there's just some crazy breakthrough. But honestly, between 1.4 and 1.8, it's like, you know, it's a severe price jump, and I'm not really too caught up on that. Like, I'm fine with 1.8. 1.8 is perfect, and that's probably where I'm going to be shooting at. I shoot at f2.8 most of the time anyway with primes, so this is fine. I love this. Off that lens cap. Lens cap's also different. It just says Nikon. Forgot what the other one said. Ooh, okay. You see 50mm, 1 to 1.8S, 62mm filter thread. Pretty sweet. Love that. It's kind of upside down. It's kind of funny. And then on the back, you have that giant mount. Yeah, like, that's quite a big mount on the lens. But this is where like all their talking points were the fact that the mount is allowing them to make better lenses. And from what I've been seeing, like, it seems pretty true. I'm glad they changed it up. Like, it takes a lot for a company to make changes that drastic to just abandon a mount that they've been using for I don't know how long. You have people on both ends of the spectrum. Some said, like, no, they should have kept the F mount. And some said, like, and I'm one of the people that believe that the Z mount, is that what this is called? I believe the Z mount is the way forward, because why stick with something old that would limit your innovation and probably cost more to work around, when you can just reinvent a new mount and then create lenses through that mount, and it would be hopefully easier for them. I've watched all the material that Nikon has released on their mount, and that's what I understood from all of it, is that they made the mount bigger so that the flange distance is shorter and all this other stuff. And it seems to be true because Canon also follows suit, and their RF mount is also pretty large, and they're coming out with pretty amazing glass. Canon definitely came out with their professional glass first, and Nikon came out with more of the enthusiast glass first, I feel like. But this for me is perfect because I'm not really in the market for $3,000 lenses yet, I guess. This is fine for me. I'm very okay with this. This feels great in the hand. It definitely feels better than a Sony. I will say that. I know this is technically inferior to A9 II and A7R4, but like, come on, for the price, for the lens and the body, can't beat that. And so that's why I went here. I'm gonna save some bucks. And honestly, when it comes to cameras, it's only a matter of time before your favorite brand comes out with the features that you're looking for. So it's just kind of a waiting game. And someone say, oh, well, Nikon's dying and all this other crap. Well, everyone's kind of tanking right now, as far as I know. Shout out to Mr. Northrop. I get most of my insight from him. And I do read other articles. But everyone's saying that Nikon's going to die and all this other stuff. But I'm sure they'll be fine. And if, for whatever reason, they do go under, with the glass that they currently put out, I'm more than happy with the selection that's out there. So all the primes, the 7200, which is supposed to be coming out soon at the time of this video, and the 24-70, that's honestly everything I need. So I've already done the math, and I figured out that the Z system is right for me. And it may not be right for you, but for me, this system works great. And it's going to hopefully continue working great. I did do a lot of research before I went out and got this, because even though it's less expensive than the other cameras, it's still a big purchase, you know? And so you just want to make sure that you go out and do the research. And after all my research and the things that I heard about it and saw, it's pretty good. Now, anyway, when this camera first came out, it was kind of lacking. I've heard and I saw all the stuff that they were saying when this camera first launched. And now, a couple of years later, this is like a completely different camera. Like, that's what I like so much about mirrorless, is that they have the in-body updates. And before with DSLRs, that didn't really happen. And they've made the Z6 a completely different camera than what it was when it first launched. Like, they could have released a camera between this one and where it is now with a different body, but they updated it. And that's why I am so enthusiastic about mirrorless, because it's like the future. Like, that's amazing that they can make this camera better with updates like your phone. And it's also good that you don't have to go out and buy a whole different camera. Like, imagine if the Z6, when it first launched, like, it's just a Z6, and then they released a new body, the Z6S, which is basically just the Z6 with the current firmware updates. That would kind of suck, but that's what I think photography was used to. And with this firmware update, it's kind of changing everything. Like, you can now send firmware updates and make the camera completely new. So the Sony did that with their shutter closing whenever you're switching the lens. That's quite neat that they can just send an update over the internet, and your camera is now suddenly doing this whole new feature that beforehand would be a new camera that you have to go out and buy. So I'm very enthusiastic about mirrorless. I do think it's the future, and this is my first example of going in that direction. I might get more before the newest iteration of the Z comes out, but if it's a 45 megapixel camera, I'm probably not going to buy it. I just don't need all that resolution, because I have used the A7R4, and those files are kind of crazy, and, you know, even though they have all that resolution, they're not that fun to work with. I mean, it is fun to zoom in, you know, like you zoom in and you see all that detail, but I don't need all that resolution, so that's why the Z6 was perfect for me, or else I would have gotten the C7. But the C7 is also overkill. I'm just done with these giant sensors. I don't need all that resolution. Just keep it small. That's why I like the A9 Mark II, because it's a small sensor and it's a really capable camera. Like, that camera is amazing, right? I'm used to it. But this is also really nice. And I'm also not trying to stick to just one brand. If I wanted to, I could have just gotten an A7. But I went out and got the Z just because I want to try everything, you know? What I would be looking for in the next generation of Z cameras is probably like a 25 megapixel sensor at most. I don't need 40, 60, 100. Come on. Just stop all that. My computer can hardly keep up with those files, and it's quite annoying to work with. 20 megapixels to 25, maybe 30 at the max is fine. And all I would want from Nikon is that they make a sports camera. I definitely do like having high burst rates. So 20 frames per second would be ideal. With a 20 to 25 megapixel sensor, I would quite like that. Dual card slots, they would probably have to when it comes to dual card slots, I think they might be able to squeeze in 2 XUD cards or CF Express. But if not, they might go the route of having 1 XUD or CF Express card slot and then an SD card slot, whether it's USH 1, 2, or maybe even 3. I heard there's USH 3 being developed. So they might have that because right now, like, this is quite large. And a lot of companies like Sony, I feel like they're scared of making their mirrorless bodies big, but come on, we're already so used to the bulky DSLRs, whereas, you know, adding a little bit of weight and size to the camera, it wouldn't bother me. I would quite like having 2 XUD cards instead of just 1. So that's my take on that. So it's not very many things that I'm asking for here, I feel like. I just want 20 to 25 megapixels, which is perfect for me. High frame rate. And hopefully, you know, the ability of the camera to keep up with it, you know, like autofocus, the sensor, and all that other stuff. That would make it ideal, but for now, this is a perfect little stills camera. It's not really much of an action camera, and I know that, but, you know, stills, portraits, which is the main thing I do, this is going to be my new workhorse, and I'm excited to finally get going with this. So that was my unboxing of the new Z6 system that I just purchased. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll definitely keep you guys updated as I use this camera and let you know what I think about it. I definitely come from a weird standpoint where I'm used to using the highest tier Sony gear. I'm technically going down by using this camera instead of buying a Sony, but, you know, this is where I want to go, and I did. And I'll definitely keep you guys updated as I use this camera and let you know how it compares and differs from the Sony system. But I'm very excited to start using it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.